The debate comes after nearly 100 MPs signed a cross-party letter to the Prime Minister urging a parliamentary commission into the future of healthcare. Over the weekend, the Health Secretary hinted at the idea of a dedicated tax to fund hospitals and social care. Speaking on BBC Radio 5 Live, Labour MP Mr Umunna said, "No one is just suggesting that you just throw money at it, but your own colleagues, Sarah Wollaston, has been very clear that it does need more money." BBCLabour MP Chuka Umunna clashed with Tory Kemi Badenoch over the NHS. "The reason it needs more money is because we have rising levels of obesity, we have an ageing population, and there are other factors which mean there is more demand in addition to keeping current levels of care. This has been looked at independently." The Labour Party MP was then interrupted by Conservative Ms Badenoch, who insisted she actually agreed with her Commons counterpart. However, it was not enough to calm Mr Umunna, who delivered a furious swipe, before returning to his point. He said, hang on a minute. By your Office for Budget Responsibility said that by 2022-23, the health service is going to need an extra £30 billion a year just to be able to do what it does now. I agree, it's not all about funding. But funding is a very important part of this. There is a challenge to your listeners actually, because moving forward, the health service, because of scientific advance, can do more and more and more. The challenge to our listeners: what are you prepared to pay for? And what are you prepared to see the NHS not do? The point is, why we are going to put more money in is because listeners to do more. Speaking before Mr Umunna, Ms Badenoch said, simply throwing money at it, spending more and more, does not work. That is why that cross-party discussion is important, because we need to be able to talk about these things and get the key points out, and not just talking about money. We are giving more money already. In total, 98 MPs from across the political spectrum, including all 21 chairmen of Commons Select Committees, backed the letter, which was coordinated by Commons Health Committee Chairman and senior Tory MP Dr Sarah Wollaston. The letter read, "It will be vital to address wider pressures on the NHS and social care if we are to persuade the public of the need to contribute more and with fairness across the generations, rather than this falling entirely on those of working age in employment. Without action, patients will experience a serious further decline in services, and the blame for that will be laid squarely at the door of politicians." The Prime Minister has announced a massive cash injection for the NHS, with a long-term funding package for health and social care in Britain. Hang on a minute. Chuka Umunna. Theresa May said the government would come up with a long-term plan for NHS funding this year, ahead of the 2019 spending review. She said, "I want it to be done in conjunction with leaders of the NHS, with clinicians and health experts, and the government will provide a multi-year funding settlement in support of the plan. We can't afford to wait until next Easter. I think, in this 70th anniversary year of the NHS's foundation, we need an answer on this."